Hello, this is Lorena, and I'm back with another Dellings video. In this video, I will continue maxing out as many event points as I can get. Maxing out, well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Basically, what I mean is I'm going to finish using my dueling orbs. And then I'm going to duel Rage as much as I possibly can. Since I'm running out of dueling orbs, I'm probably not going to get as far as I was hoping, but that's okay. There's still plenty of time before the event ends for me to max out on the title. I just wanted to do a little more with the event because I was slacking off with it. And obviously I didn't want to slack off with it because I actually I like Reiji as a character. Yes, I know I like Reiji as a character. It's pretty common for me to like, dude, you stole that monster in particular. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad, honestly. Yeah, that was just brutal. Okay. Well, interesting. This should hopefully, well, that's nice. That was definitely nice. That was a good way of ending the duel. Yuya looked a bit nervous there. He showed more nervousness than I did on my entire face. I was just sitting here with a blank facial expression. You really can't tell what's in my head right when you look at my face. I mean, sometimes you can, but it's not common. It's not as common as with the average person, is what I should say. Like, when you talk to me, there's some facial expression, but I've heard that it's very limited compared to what it usually is for others. And that doesn't really bother me, but also because of that, people don't necessarily see the emotion that I could be displaying. So when I say that I'm angry, they don't really see much evidence of that because I'm not showing it. Now, obviously, the reason I don't show it is because I'm angry should say it enough. I shouldn't have to put on this dramatic display of evidence that I'm truly angry. Yeah, that's not necessary. But while it's not necessary, I definitely do wonder how many people have trouble knowing how I'm actually feeling. Like, do they believe what I'm claiming about my emotional state? I mean, some people probably do, and others, they probably don't know. I think that the people closest to me believe me. The others, well, they haven't really seen me angry, so all they have to go off of are words that say I'm angry. Like my therapist, I have an appointment with her later this week, and I've somehow recovered between our last appointment and our next one. And as common as that is for me, it's still bizarre. Okay. I don't like what you did. Oh my god. No. Too late, too late. Oh god. Are you kidding me? Stop winning like this. It's petty. Ugh. I didn't have to lose that one, but whatever. Great. I was too slow to stop the defeat. That's actually something that is a pretty common problem. Like, my reaction time versus what's going on in front of me, not necessarily going to match. Like, let's imagine that there is something coming. Like, let's imagine there was a car coming in my direction, the opposite direction as the direction of my car. I probably wouldn't take action fast enough to prevent an accident, especially if the other driver wasn't doing anything either. And it's reasoning like this that keeps me from actually trying to drive. Like, I think I might be able to get a legal. I think I probably could eventually work my way up to getting a legal permit, but well, I don't know. I kind of see myself in a pretty tough position if I really went through with that. And that is the dangerous position that keeps me from learning to drive. And obviously that limits me in a lot of ways. Because I live in a location where there isn't much public transportation. And because there isn't a lot of that, I don't have much freedom when it comes to where I go and how I get there. And when I say this, it's actually somewhat self-inflicted, based on me feeling self-conscious for relying on other people for transportation at my age. And there may be no self-consciousness. I mean, it may be somewhat self-inflicted, but while it is self-inflicted on me, I feel like trying to get out of this is more of a risk than I should be taking. Especially when I don't necessarily respond to things fast enough. Now, if I was actually in a car and those circumstances actually occurred, I might react fast enough to prevent some damage. But, what is some damage? And would I end up worsening the damage because of what I do when I react? Because there are many ways to mess up in an accident, and I feel like I shouldn't drive, and I've got legitimate reasons for not wanting to. And I don't like that being able to drive is a common responsibility for adults. I mean, it's okay for you to learn to drive. It's okay if you want to drive. It's okay if you can follow the driving laws. But all adults having to support themselves with their own car and everything like that, I don't think that should be important for an adult. Being independent shouldn't be locked behind needing a car. Like even if I could drive, can I afford to keep my car in good condition? Like, I wouldn't be able to afford a new car. I may not even be able to afford repairs because I'm on a fixed income. So even if I could drive legally and safely, they're still having to keep the car in good condition. which isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do if your income is fixed. Yeah. So I'm not necessarily in a good position here. Because I could try. Maybe it's not as bad as I was fearing. But then suddenly something about my car stops functioning. Maybe the air conditioning suddenly dies, or the heater dies, and I don't have enough money to cover the repair costs. There are things like this that I have to consider when I know about. I mean, adults have to consider this stuff all the time. But if you're a disabled adult, then you have to start thinking, can I afford this? More often than most people do. And I mean, obviously, if you're someone poor, then you have to deal with that as well, even if you aren't disabled. But at that point, it's less about you being unable to work, and it's more about being forced into poverty. Now, if you could work, you shouldn't be getting forced into poverty. Hell, no one should be forced into poverty. And yet, I feel like I have been locked into poverty for the rest of my life because I cannot work doing a job that makes me miserable. And yeah, that's the basis for my argument. If I had to do any job that most people could do, I think I would be miserable. And I know that makes me sound super privileged, but I mean, I've heard that if you want money, you can't be picky, but are you kidding me? You think that I should work at a job that would make me miserable? Really? I can be picky if I want to. I want my well-being to be preserved. My well-being is more important than someone else's wallet. That's what I have to say on this. And obviously, Yuya's duel is over, so I should, yeah. In any case, I've always struggled with thinking that my feelings are important. And the game changer for that has actually been getting told it's actually been getting told that someone doesn't care about my feelings. Yeah, as soon as someone says they don't care about my feelings, that's like, okay, someone doesn't care about my feelings. And it's surprising, it's been surprising that basically out of spite, I end up actually starting to care, that I actually end up thinking that my feelings do matter, even though I've been treated like they don't for pretty much for the better part of my life. Now, obviously, I've got a problem with expressing my emotions, and I acknowledge that. But I mean, I've grown up with a message that my feelings aren't important. And it's not my parents' job to make I hate charmers. Charmers are destructive forces of evil. Down with charmers. Ugh. Charmers suck. But when you're doing these duels with the AI, they could destroy you. I hate this. I hate this. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. It's like it took someone not caring about my feelings to just... I mean, it's weird on one level, but on another, no one has really actually said that my feelings don't matter. It's basically been me feeling like they don't. And even though I've grown up with that message, I haven't grown up trying to think otherwise, because I didn't have the ability before this. And I think what pushed me to actually start thinking that my feelings matter is not the physical world or the physical plane. So if anyone is being critical of my pluralness, then what can I tell you? Being plural is probably the only reason I can say that my feelings do matter. And sure, the other half of that might be spite, but even if it is spite, it's still doing something. I'm still healing, right? It doesn't really matter how I do it, as long as no one's getting hurt. And no one is getting hurt, as far as I know. And now, as far as my feelings not mattering, that was definitely never true. Like, that was definitely never true at all. And just the fact that I picked up that message was definitely, it's not a message that anyone was trying to send me. And I think that me not being vocal about my feelings pretty much set me up for continuing to believe that. And the reason that I am now so insistent on my feelings mattering actually begins with anhedonia. Yes, because I mean, it sounds like the worst thing ever to say that anhedonia would suddenly be the reason that you end up thinking that your emotions matter, but actually, it's been building up for quite a while. I didn't initially start thinking that my feelings mattered until early this year. But there has been a build-up ever since I've developed anhedonia. I haven't been able to extend the usual to other people since I developed it. I'm thinking more about myself than others, which on one hand, there could be an argument of that being selfish, but also, it's worth mentioning that it's all built up to a moment where I'm like, my feelings do matter, you don't get to tell me they don't. And that's very, very rare. That was rare for me for a long time. And I'm not necessarily as vocal about it right now, but it's going to keep building until finally I'm actually vocal about it around people in person as well. And I mean, that's good just as long as I watch what I say to people and I don't provoke them, because dear God, that is something that I could do on accident, and I better not do that. I better behave, and I've been doing the best job I can at behaving. But yeah, I still have a limit, and I still say that if all hell breaks loose, it's not going to be because I lost my temper. It's going to be because of some other emotion, which in my experience would be more likely to be I end up crying in front of people in my household. And because I'm crying in front of people, it's going to be very shocking to see me in that state. But also, am I ever actually going to be in that state? I don't know. But I fantasized about what I would do if that were to happen. Like if I were to suddenly, like if I were to suddenly break down and just cry, and yeah. I fantasized about that, but it's never actually happened. Now, there was that one time where I broke down and recorded a video of me pretty much being upset as much as I've ever been. Like, that was the most emotional I've been ever. And I was completely proud of that video because I was able to share it with people and not just hide it. And I think it's a good sign of progress that I can do that. But also, I haven't actually done that around anyone in person in quite some time, though I think that there have been people that had seen me cry before, obviously. And it's not good when I do cry in front of people because that means that a lot happened. That means that a lot has been going on that people aren't aware of. And now, I think that any form of breakdown is unlikely, but it does increase. It does increase with age because I'm a bit dependent. It's not that you had to watch me every 5 seconds or I'm going to hurt something. It's more that I'm financially dependent, but I'm also dependent in terms of transportation. And I'm dependent financially in more ways than one. Like, I still live with my parents, and that's not a bad thing, in my opinion. But I still feel like I'm dependent on the things that they can give me that I can't provide for myself just yet. Which, at my age, you would expect that I can give myself those things. Yeah, at my age, you would expect that I'm able to provide for myself in better ways than I can. And I think this falls on society because I did not grow up with a normal childhood. Like, if I did, then I would be fine. But my childhood was messed up. And I don't think that I would have abandonment issues if it wasn't. Like, I may not blame anyone for them, but they're still there. So, yeah. There are issues that I can't just be this perfect adult. And I may be almost 30, but that doesn't take away all of the pain that I still haven't healed from. That doesn't take away that doesn't take away everything. That doesn't take away the pain and the suffering that has been inflicted upon me since I was a child. Some of that pain, some of that trauma is still with me. And yes, I do say trauma. I'm not, like, my life isn't being actively threatened. But do you think that I have anhedonia because of one or two things? There are definitely reasons I have it that just aren't, it's not exclusively my fault. My behavior toward myself was learned. It wasn't just depression that got me to this place. Anyway, it's time for entertainment, Dylan. So I snap my fingers and get into character. there will be no actual snapping sounds because I hate snapping sounds. And I'm sure other people do as well to some extent. Whenever I hear snapping sounds, I just go berserk. Same with clapping actually. Those noises, just, my brain doesn't process them as a pleasurable sound. Like, snapping, you could probably understand better than clapping, but yeah. Let's go. My character is on. Let's go, Reiji. Let's see who wins. You'll have to try harder than that if you want to defeat me. That's right. If you want to defeat me, you better try harder than that. Special summon from my hand. The crowd cheers. And now, obviously, I don't want to end them immediately. So, I'm going to end my turn here. Because a duel isn't fun if it doesn't last, right? But if I do lose, that's my fault. Entirely my fault. I understand that it'll be my fault if I lose. However, my fault or not, it still falls to me to keep the entertainment coming. I use polymerization to summon this card. Cyber Dragon becomes Cyber Twin Dragon. Let's entertain. It is now time to end this. Just try to bot this if you can. You could not, which means you lose. You really should work on your in-game before you talk about mine. Seriously. You think I don't have the guts to face you? But dude, I definitely have the guts to face you. Quick victory, that's nice. Okay, so whether okay, nice. I'm over 4 million now. Okay. No, I was actually hoping to get around. I was hoping to get to around 5 million. You made a bunch of mistakes, Reggie, like underestimating me. Underestimating me is one of them. I've won 40 duels against Reggie already. Oh my god. Like, when I was dueling against 3, I fought him 60 times, but I still hadn't beaten him 40 times. And I need to duel against Reggie 2 more times, but I can either win those or lose those. It doesn't matter because I've already beaten him as many times as I need to. And that's awesome. That's very, very awesome. So yeah. I've been pretty self-conscious about my ability to survive lately, and I know that I don't really need to be thinking about it right now, but you never know when things are going to happen. And when I think about that, it's just like, I really want to be a more adult. Like, I may never be the picture of I may never be society's definition of adult, but surely I can become a better adult, right? Like, surely there are things I can do that I'm not already doing. And I'm thinking about those, and my mind still draws a blank on some of these. Like, I don't know how I would ever find a source of transportation. I don't know how I would find any of that. And I'm not as concerned about finances, actually. That's still very strange to me that I would not be concerned about finances. Yeah, but I'm not. And I think the reason for that is I have more confidence that I can one day get a job that pays me enough money to preserve my mental health. I have more confidence in that than my ability to learn to drive. And also, I will probably be, well, let's just say that certain luxuries in my life now, they're temporary. My privileges are temporary. Like, the only privilege I have that is permanent is just, I mean, I don't even know if I want to say it because it's so depressing. And I hate how people behave sometimes. Especially when, I can't really say it. Not in a video like this. I actually did say it in one of my shadow work videos that I didn't post on YouTube. That I didn't upload to YouTube. I didn't upload one of my videos that I did on shadow work. And that was because I was uncomfortable with it. Yes, that's the idea. You're not supposed to be comfortable with shadow work. Anyway, yeah. So after this, I can do Ragey some more. And that's about it. After I max out on attempts of dueling Ragey, all I will have left are any standard duelists that remain afterward. And maybe if I get lucky, I can duel him one more time as his professional version. Yeah. And I still say it, like if you want to be professional anything, Ragey's words make complete sense. Like, you don't want a surgeon messing up with what he's doing, right? He needs to know what he does or his mistakes will cost him. Or her. Or, them, they, yeah. Like, I can't possibly include every gender pronoun. There are just so many of them, and some people use neo-pronouns, which they aren't bad, but that definitely is more than I can capture with just the currently existing pronouns. Like, I can only list so many. I can't list all of them, especially when gender is starting to expand past the usual range, which means leaving the binary in ways that have never been done before. And that's definitely not bad, but again, I can only include a certain amount of pronouns. I can't include everyone's, unfortunately. So neo-pronouns are, they'll just be generally packaged together as neo-pronouns. Okay, well that's all of the standard duelists. So now I can duel Ragey, and how am I doing with the video? It's 34 minutes, roughly. So I'm going to duel Ragey some more. yeah. Yeah, professionally, you have to know what you're doing. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to cost you a lot. Now, obviously, in this context, it's more about being able to entertain people. But even when you're entertaining people, you still have to do it right. And not everyone entertains right. But that's obviously why some people are more successful than others in that regard. Now, as much as I criticize Yuya as not being the most entertaining person out there, I do think that he has a lot of room for that growth. Like, I don't necessarily think that he can't be entertaining, because I think he has that potential. He's just very young, and that's not a bad thing at all. He can certainly learn to be a much better entertainment duelist as he matures and gets older. Hell, even within the span of a year at the end of the anime, he could be absolutely entertaining. And also, his age isn't even a barrier. He was just written poorly. Like, there are some very entertaining people his age. You normally, yeah. Yeah, I've met people his age that are very entertaining. And that was basically when I was still Yuya's age. Yeah, I am no longer Yuya's age. I bricked, but that's fine. I don't need to win these duels. I just need to duel him some more times. Now, obviously, do I want to win my duels against him? Yes. And, you know, it's actually funny that I don't have the best confidence when it comes to my card plays. Like, I'm not very confident in myself as a duelist. But then you see me acting like I definitely know what I'm doing. I mean, yes, I'm definitely I'm not confident all the time, but once it's time to duel, it's time to duel. But like, there is no room for lack of confidence there. I duel and I duel. So, yeah. Anyway, I didn't draw a single monster during that entire duel. I know that because I only got one turn. So that was definitely a quick loss. But, I mean, I'm definitely able. I'm going to get a monster this time, right? Give me a monster, preferably one I can summon. Okay, well I got a monster that I may be able to summon later. And I got a monster that I can summon, but wow, Reiji, he definitely did not brick. However, Reiji, you have made a fatal mistake. Do you know what that fatal mistake is? Well, that fatal mistake is you forgot that I'm one of the best entertainment duelists of all time. You are not to forget this, Reiji. You are not to forget about my status as one of the most entertaining duelists of all time. You may think that I am not right now, but I am. I will show you. Alright, I end my turn there. Obviously, it's coming back. And maybe I should use alternative skill a bit here. Although I definitely need blue eyes if I do want to pull that off. Well, I did not pull the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I didn't pull anything I could summon. And that means I lose. Yeah, I can already tell I've lost. Like, if you break against Rage, you're screwed. That is what I've learned in my time. That is what I've learned after breaking against Rage so many times. Though that would be true from an anime perspective as well, honestly. Okay, that was pretty much just as bad as not summoning anything at all. The game still lasted the same amount of turns. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's definitely hilarious that I needed to duel him 2 more times, and I specified that I didn't even need to win those. I just needed to do them. What? Yeah, I didn't have to win them, but I would have liked to have at least won one of them, but okay. I have to duel raging more than 60 times. So this is 60 times, as far as I remember. So I can at least collect that reward, but I am not done. No, I have no idea how many times I will duel raging, but it's more than the amount I've currently dueled him. Okay, so I've played 60 duels against him. No, that was interesting. Very interesting, so I might benefit from doing some ranked duels. Obviously, I don't want to do them, but I only need to do 3. And it really doesn't take very long to get 3 losses. I mean, honestly, this game is brutal. So, it doesn't take long for me to lose. And when you take that into consideration, that losses are usually obtained pretty fast if you're going to lose. Then there's nothing to worry about, right? Still no monsters. What is going on? Oh, you succeeded at summoning a monster. Unless you're going to do something with, okay, it's activated. If this is the card I want to use, is it worth it? I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know. So I'm going to take this attack. Here's the thing, I have no idea if there's a monster on top of my deck. So, using enemy controller isn't necessarily going to help me. But, I mean, I've got Smashing Ground. Okay, well, I end my turn. Reggie only had... He only has 1 card in his hand. And now he takes damage because I kicked his card off the field. I kicked his card off the field. Wow. He's fusion summoning again. Well, I do have a monster, but I can't summon it without the blue eyes. But this time, I do it. I use enemy controller. Wait a minute, why did I do that? I saw that tuner and I was instantly, oh, fine. I'm blaming this loss on myself entirely. Not, I'm not blaming it on breaking. This loss is a legitimate loss and it's my fault. As punishment, I have to go into ranked duels. I really don't seem to learn, do I? Yeah, that's my fault. Let's take the time to reflect on how this is my fault. I used enemy controller at the wrong time. I should not use enemy controller if there is a tuner on the field. If there is a tuner on the field, using enemy controller is a bad idea. Because, my opponent is probably going to synchro summon. Okay, well, I'm not sure how that would have played out, even if I made the right choice. Because it's possible I would have lost regardless. But I could have still done better than that. Alright. So time for my penalty game. I go to ranked duels. But I don't have to play as Yuya. Obviously, because I'm sick of playing as Yuya. Well, it's not that bad, honestly. But I really do want to duel with someone else. So, hold on, Yuya has to duel this person over here. Yeah, the person just spawned in, so Yuya has to duel. But I'm going to go into a ranked duel. I'm going to lose 3 times or win one of them. I don't know I don't even know. I really don't know what. When I go into a ranked fight, I have no idea what will happen when I duel. I usually tend to assume that I will lose, but sometimes I don't. And that's good, that's nice, but while sometimes I do win, that's not usually what happens. Now, we hope that as I get better cards, I become better at playing this game, right? Right? Yeah, sure. My excuses are going to go down the drain. And people are going to be asking how I'm still doing like a noob. And I will have absolutely no explanation for that. Because I don't know how to get better at playing this game. It's not like I have a teacher that can just teach me how to play this game. And I'm still there. That you can still make college courses for this game. You can make entire college courses. An entire semester's worth. Multiple semesters worth of content. That is how long this game has been alive. That is how long this game has been. Yeah, this game is just. It's not the easiest game to learn, but it's definitely not the hardest. You can definitely learn this game. But if you want to become really good, yeah, you probably need to sit down with the rule book, and you probably need to duel a few times. More than a few times. Now, there are some people that can quickly pick up how to play a card game well, and which plays not to make. But I am not one of them. I am not one of them. So, spoiler, I'm not one of them. However, I still seem to have improved a bit. Since at least I'm getting wins now. I don't think I was getting wins last time I was in ranked. Like a while back, I don't think I was doing very well in ranked duels. Yeah, back when I was obsessed with only playing Amazoness cards, I wasn't getting very many wins, and I do have some wins now, so I seem to have gotten a little better, but, those new mistakes, they aren't gone. They're still here. Okay, well, this is lost one. Okay. I don't lose on purpose, dude. Like, I assume that I'm losing. But I may assume I'm losing. But assuming I'm losing does not mean I'm giving up on the duel. It doesn't mean that I'm going to just not duel at all. Hell no. I may think I'm going to lose, but my opponent is still getting a fight. At least as much of a fight as I can put up. Yeah, if I don't have the right cards, I just don't have the right cards. There isn't really anything that can change that. Alright, well, I am wondering if I will get another move. But, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll get another turn. But that's why I didn't bother summoning anything stronger than what I did summon. Because I'm like, I don't even know if I'll get another turn. So, should I really put it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, like, my card is gone already, and is it even the battle phase yet? I don't think so. Like, dude, even Next is off the field. Though Next I don't think could have done anything. I think it was a pretty dead card as soon as I put it down. No, I don't actually mind that one of the best decks in the game is a Harpy deck. Because mine deserves better in the anime. So her deck living on as one of the best decks in Duel Links right now is actually pretty nice. I like that. Although I still lost. Okay, so back to losing, I guess. So he's going to kick my ass now. I'm going into another ranked duel. I'm going to be doing 3 of these. It's not actually as punishment, but it may as well be. Like, I seriously don't have the cards to win. And honestly, I still don't know how people get good at playing this game. Now, you may say practice, you get the right cards. Dude, I need something more than that. Just saying. You can give me a good deck, but that doesn't mean I can play it well. Okay. So, I'm against Yuya. That doesn't necessarily mean I'll win. I can't do anything. So I guess this is a free win for you, regardless of the deck he's playing. Yeah, sacrificing your spell and trap zones, you can do that and you can still win. Just saying. So which deck is he playing? I should check before. Okay, interesting. It's my turn, okay? I still cannot do anything. I end my turn, and by the way, that's a tuner. I'm going to need the card I have right now later, so I don't want to waste it. But at the same time, will I even live long enough to use it? Right now, I can't do anything. But my opponent also knows that I have not surrendered. I mean, I'm not doing anything, but that doesn't mean I'm surrendering. A person in my circumstances, a person that plays the game, I mean, most people in my situation would probably just surrender. Especially if they do a lot of rank duels and they don't really want to waste their time with a duel they know they've lost. Yeah, I know I've lost it. Yeah, I've lost. I mean, I do monsters, but I couldn't summon them. Okay, so who's next? Who's next? I just need to do one more rank duel. And honestly, this is definitely as fast as I expected. Okay, let's keep going. After this, I think I can just end the video and begin another one. I'll find something to do, I guess. I don't know what it'll be. So, you know, I wanted to know if I would get pestered about doing dueling quizzes. And I haven't seen those messages again. I did think that maybe the only reason I was getting those is because I still... this is... Well, like, I'm putting this card face down. I did not expect this. This makes things awkward. Shouldn't be making things awkward, but it is. Well, actually, what are they going to do? Hold on. I need to pay attention. Because, like, I want to use those cards. Oh. That's the usual method. That's the main method that I found online. Like, this is the usual way that the Yubel deck is played. It also makes use of one of the least... I usually don't have... Yeah, hold on. Fire King Island. I need that card. I need it right now. Yeah, I'm going to figure out which box it's in and pull from it. Well, it may be my turn, but there isn't anything I can do. I don't care. I'm using it anyway. I know what's going to happen, though. I know it's not working. But, I mean, I'm not going to attack, so my opponent can at least tell that I'm able to read. Although, even though I'm able to read, that doesn't prevent me from summoning a monster. And it also doesn't prevent my monster from going to the graveyard a second later. Dude. Okay. Painful, but this card is in defense position. Well, okay. Actually, well, this is one of the reasons I want to use the Yubel cards. But this is one of the reasons. That's why Yubel is still in this deck. I can't show it off though, because yeah, I can't summon them. That's why. Well, I mean, I learned something from that. Okay, so, I had to find the box. So I'm going to end the video after... Actually, hold on. I'm going to end the video and look up which box that card is in. Fire is one of those attributes that I don't have much of. So there's a decently good reason to find that box and get it. I hope this works. I don't know if it's going to. Alright. So that'll conclude this video. When I come back, I will do some pulls. Yeah, provided it's actually in a box, but I mean, why wouldn't it be? So guys, this wraps up this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Look forward to my next video because it's going to be wild.